All right, Steve Garcia, man, Bellator Bantamweight, coming up, Bellator 181 against Joe Warren. You got a fight coming up soon, July 14th. How's everything going for you? How's everything? How are you feeling? Thank you for being on the show, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. Everything's going good. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm feeling good, man. This is actually a big fight for me, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
It's something I've been waiting for, so I just want to live up to the hype and go up there and just do what I do best. Put some hands on them and get that finish.
Yeah, because Joe Warren is pretty much a poster boy, or one of the poster guys in Bellator, especially for that bantamweight division. He's been there for a long time. He's a veteran of the sport. He's a great grappler. Have you brought anybody in to Jackson's to kind of like emulate his wrestling, or are you just training as normal?
No, well, I mean, that's a good thing about me training at Jackson's that you have so many partners.
Yeah.
And we just have a wide variety. But yeah, I mean, honestly, we have a lot of guys that simulate his similarities to what he does. I work a lot with like Ray Borg for this camp is a good one.
It's a good one.
John Dotson's another one. Diego Sanchez is another one. And then we actually have this guy from, I want to say Russia. We have another guy from Polish. His name's Sebastian. Homeboy's just a Jax Polish fighter, very strong. So I'm just having guys just, pretty much just trying to, get a hold of me and just take me to the cage, take me down, try to control. That's more or less what we're doing. But we have, All-American wrestlers from, different colleges and stuff. And, the best of the best strikers, So I'm not saying I'm not worried about his striking, but that is not my main concern in this fight. It's always going to be definitely stopping the takedown.
Right.
Moving, I watched Dante's last fight, and it was a really good blueprint. I'm definitely going to do something a little different. I plan on finishing him. Wasn't able to do that. I see myself doing that.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I am. I'm, I'd rather kill it, be killed. You know what I mean? That's more what I like to do.
Yeah.
It's gonna unfold in the cage. Here in about a month or two. So
Yeah.
I'm just excited to just play it.
Yeah, over at Jackson's, I'm sure you have no shortage of like training partners and top quality guys, man. It's. I mean, everybody you just named is like they're killers, top notch, including yourself. So it's insane. What was it like when you got the call for this fight? I mean, was it something that you took right away? Did you have to talk about it with your management or the guys at Jackson's, or was it something that you just agreed to, or how did that go?
No, we've been kind of bugging Bellator, just like, dude, what's gonna happen? They threw out one of the champions that they were thinking about signing, and I was like, I don't care, just give me on a card, like just because I was supposed to fight Tomangalo and it fell through.
Yeah.
And then that I got another offer to go to Italy and fight this Bellamonte guy. He didn't take the fight, so I'm just trying to find a fight, and they're like, no, we're gonna try to get you on as quickly as possible. And then like a month goes by, and I'm just kind of like, I feel like I'm dangling my feet, but it gives me more time to get better, so I'm cool with it. So technically, they gave us a call, and they're like, hey, like, how would you feel going back or fighting in July? Is that a good time? I'm like, yeah. I was like, this month would have been a good time frame or something,
Yeah.
So, which is like, you know what? I'm gonna find an opponent for you for July 14th. I was like, cool. And then he shot my dad a text saying, is Joe Warren a fittable opponent? And he's actually one that I knew I was eventually going to have to step in front of eventually. So
Yeah.
I was more than willing to accept it. I'm not here to, beat around the bush, just fight nobody's. Like, I'm willing to fight anybody. I've never turned down any fights that they've ever asked me to fight.
Yeah.
So, I'm just, like I said, I feel like it's about time.
Right. And as I said before, Joe Warren's like one of those names who's been there forever. Do you see this fight as kind of like a stepping stone to get into that top five in the bantamweight division?
Stepping stone. If it is, it is. But I'm not. I really can't look at it that way.
Yeah.
I have to set my own path, and I'm not gonna necessarily try to use anybody to do it. But if that happens, then it is. Like, it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
There's too many people that try to pad the records or take easy fights, and some of them do really well, and some of them don't, or like they do really good, and then they end up finding someone that's really tough, and then they fold.
Yeah.
That's why I made sure that I haven't turned down anybody. And then I have a lot of amateur fights, at least MMA wise. I have about amateur. I have like 14 amateur fights. So I feel like it really brought me up, and I fought anybody and whoever, 135 and 145. And then we made the change to go pro. Like I said, I never turned down anybody. My second fight was Sean Bunch, and I was an 8-1 underdog fight. So, I'm willing for the challenge. I'll accept it.
And they said when they offered you to fight that your dad they talked to your dad. So your dad's your manager?
Yeah, my dad's my manager, my conditioning coach. He runs his own business and stuff too. He knows a lot about the business world. Mm-hmm. We're both kind of new to the MMA thing. It's not like we're a bunch of fighters, boxers and kickboxers and jiu-jitsu guys. Like we don't have that background in my family. All of it's just pretty much street, but that's we're just kind of new about it, and we just had people along the way that were charismatic enough to help us.
Yeah, that's a lot of questions.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, man, happy late birthday.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You're young, man. Like you're only 25 years old. Your record is outstanding. I think most of your wins are by TKO or knockout. I think your last loss was against Ricky via split decision. After this next fight, considering you win this fight, you have anybody that you want to call out, or do you want to rematch with Ricky and get that win back?
After this fight?
Yeah.
Oh well, my plan is to make a statement with Joe Warren and then go and call out Dantes, because or the winner. I don't know if they've set it up yet to do the rematch with him and Caldwell.
Yeah.
I want that winner. I was going to do the same thing after the Tumangalo fight. I've had, I think, 6 or 7 fights in Bellator. It's not like I'm like new. Mm-hmm. I've been here.
Yeah.
And whoever they stick in front of me. Joe Warren just came. His last fight was the championship fight, so I feel like it's definitely puts me in the mix.
Right.
And you had training earlier today, but then you're talking about your day job. What's your day job?
I do some like accounting stuff for an insurance company.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I gotta make some more money. I'm not quite there yet, it's where I can train full time. But my bosses, they're very giving, and they allow me to do what I need to do to train. So they're good. They're a good company to work for. They're Streamline Insurance. So they're one of my sponsors. I'll always definitely give them props, and they just like get your work done and go train. So I'm blessed for sure.
Does everybody gather around for your fights? Like, how are they super? Obviously, they're super supportive, but that's something interesting to have, like a top Bellator fighter working in your office. I'm sure it's kind of weird for them, no?
Yeah, it's funny because they always talk about it, and then like they had pictures of me and signed posters and just different stuff. So then they would have clients come in and they're like look at his whole office. And they would see me, and they're like, "Wow, who is this guy?" He's like, "Oh, he's right down the hall." And then they would come and talk to me, but it hasn't happened in a while because they had moved to California. So I'm kind of, a little bit of the situation here in New Mexico. But they'd always check in every day pretty much and just make sure everything's going smooth. And like I said, as long as we're getting our jobs done here, we're good. Yeah, they don't care. I'm about that.
It must be awesome, like, to walk in your office knowing you can kick anybody's ass in that room.
I'm sorry?
It must be awesome to walk into work knowing they can kick anybody's ass in that room.
People don't mess with me.
So. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, talk about like the relationship you have with Bellator and like how it's been for you, because you have a lot of, obviously, Bellator is coming up in terms of signing all these free agents. You guys just got Roy Nelson, a big fight in New York with a bunch of former UFC fighters, and I think a lot of people are getting attracted to Bellator now, especially with Scott Coker involved and just the sponsors and you name it, TV deal. What's your take on the whole environment over at Bellator?
So I was with them when actually Bjorn Rebney was running the gig, and I was one of the few fighters that they actually kept around. So I was actually pretty happy. I mean, there's the top guys that you probably see, like Michael Chandler and all them still that are still around, but that they had currently signed along with Jordan Rebney's crew, and then Viacom comes in and replaces him with Scott Coker. So I really haven't developed a amazing bond with Scott Coker quite yet, but I'm really tight with Richard Cho, which is the matchmaker, and then all the whole staff. I've always gotten along with them. And they always taken care of me. Like I have nothing bad to say about them. Even when I've talked to Scott Coker, he's like, well, I appreciate you working hard and putting on shows for us and stuff. And that's technically all I need. Just to kind of be able to have that conversation and not be a negative one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So all those guys are very professional. They get the job done. So I have no complaints. Every time I've been around, they take care of me.
And 2 weeks after your fight, your teammate John Jones is in a fight for the light heavyweight title over at the UFC for UFC 214. Will you be there in attendance? And how's John Jones doing in the gym right now?
Oh, he's doing great, man. What's awesome about this camp is I've actually worked with him for multiple hours, working on different stuff because me and him are really long for our division, and me and my coach Mike Winklejohn and Chad Smith, we've actually been working with John quite a bit, and it's nice because I'm able to kind of pick his brain a little bit, trying to take stuff away I think will be very useful, not just in this fight but for my longevity career. But he's looking great. I mean, there's never been a day that I've seen him where he looks horrible. Really.
Yeah.
He's such a monster. But you know what? He's the greatest of all time. People can say what they want about him. He did have, and he, I don't know his personal life, but I mean, he may or may not have the best track record when it comes to making the right choices.
Yeah.
But you can't take away his legitimacy in the cage.
Right.
Guy, you just you talk to him and you see him and you just feel his presence. I don't know. In me, it's just dominance.
Yeah.
Right.
Sensation that like he puts off.
Yeah.
And it's very strange. You don't see that very often, to where you can just talk to somebody and like you're cool with them, and then all of a sudden you get on the mat with him, and we mess around. He's a lot bigger than I am, but we'll mess around and we'll shadow box, and he'll show me a couple drills and stuff, and it's just crazy. Guy's huge, guys just. But he's doing good. He's. I mean, you already know the grudge between him and.
Yeah.
It's an exciting one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's even more motivating for him. But yeah, man, he's definitely an amazing dude in the gym. So that's the John Jones I see. He's a hard worker, grinder, and he always has a good attitude. So he's good to go, man. He's good to go.
So your fight's coming up in July 14th. How soon are you going to head out to Oklahoma? Are you going to do it the week of, or?
They normally fly me out so the fight's on Friday. They normally fly me out on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So I'll probably be there Tuesday. I'm not a big fan of Windstar Casino. There's nothing around there besides whatever's in the casino.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard. Even the sauna is I think 45 minutes away. So it's just hard, especially with the newer the weigh-in stuff is going on at 10 a.m. and 12 a.m. So that means 5 in the morning. Excuse me, and then you gotta shuttle down there. And the one time that I did use the sauna, it was cold. We had to wait we had to wait 30 minutes for them to kick it on, and it just was a pain. So
that's horrible.
Just a different way to kind of cut weight while we're down there. Like I said, it's not one of my favorite places. I mean, I fought in Memphis, and that was dope. That was cool. I fought in Connecticut. That was kind of far, and I had some injuries going on in that fight, but that was a cool place, But they like me at that Windstar Casino, so that's where I'm shining. So that's where we go.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, Steve, the only thing you've come on the show it was really great speaking with you, and we're both looking forward to your fight against Joe Warren, and hopefully we'll see you fight for a title maybe this year or maybe next year. But before you go, let the fans know where they can find you on social media and maybe plug some of your sponsors as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. One, thank you guys for having me on. No, it's always a pleasure getting to do this with you guys, and yeah, definitely. These guys can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm mainly on Instagram more or less, and then other two I'm on every once in a while. But yeah, you can hit me up at MeMachine505. That's those are my handles, and then just Facebook is just Steve Garcia, and then I have a fan page at Steve Me Machine Garcia. So. Yeah, just come and follow me. You'll be able to see a lot of my teammates that I train with, and some of them, they're goofballs, and some of them are crazy. So, sometimes I'll have some stuff on there that people might like. So,
cool,
yeah, no problem.
All right, man. We look forward to your fight coming up, and then hopefully have you on the show again soon.
Yeah, best of luck, Steve.
Best of luck, man.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care. Have a good day.